right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Virgo season workshop. Um, Leo season was intense. Leo season was a lot. um, I think that as I record this, which is about 2 days before Leo season, or 2 days before Virgo season, we just had the Aquarius full moon. And that was a big full moon. There's a square happening with Saturn and Jupiter, which is asking us to figure out, are we building in the direction of our heart's desire? Are we building in the direction of love and excitement and passion for the life that we're creating? Is this something that feels aligned, or is this not something that feels aligned? So under this full moon, we've really also had an opportunity to see, like, do we want to stand in our power in new ways? Do we want to move forward in new ways? And what do we want to let go of? Now, a lot of what we've been wanting to let go of, or what we need to let go of, and you would know about this if you watched the full moon workshop, which I'm sure many of you did, is there are certain limitations in our life, whether they're mental limitations, emotional, energetic, habitual. There's these limitations that we need to break through. And the full moon in Aquarius at the end of Leo season was showing us that for us to align deeper with our authentic self, we need to free and liberate our mind, our body, our soul from any chains that hold us back. So we had this really beautiful full moon in Aquarius at the end of Leo season, helping us liberate ourselves. And I really like that. And then immediately after, we have Saturn and we have Jupiter squaring each other off. So a square is a 90-degree angle. It's literally like this. And it's a lot of friction. It creates discomfort, but the discomfort is so that we can pause and reflect. Now, while this is happening, we also have Mercury in retrograde. We have a lot of planets in retrograde. I believe Neptune, Saturn, Mercury, Pluto. I think the node is retrograding. We might even have Chiron still retrograde. Like there's a lot of pause and reflect energy. Okay. So I say that because as we finish off Leo season, which we have just done, we were coming into a deeper awareness around who we are and how we want to authentically show up. Because for those of you who took the Abundance Activation Workshop, you would remember that we talk about finding authenticity equals flow, and flow equals expansion and opportunities for us to be in service. And a byproduct of service is money and expansion and resources and all that good shit. So we talk about this a lot in the Abundance Activation Workshop. We also got a lot of questions about that. You can take that anytime. So definitely watch that workshop anytime. It's super, super helpful. It was just announced on 888, but it's not 888 specific, just so you know. So you can watch it anytime. Now, what that activation taught us, what Leo season taught us, was that we need to find deeper authenticity in what we're doing and how we're showing up. The full moon in Aquarius at the end of Leo season was asking you to recognize where you hold yourself back, whether it's imposter syndrome, whether you don't think that you're ready, or maybe you feel like there's a behavior or a person or a project that is limiting you. Maybe you've already let them go and the energy is still lingering. Maybe you are still trying to figure out an exit strategy so that you can move forward without them. But all of what I just described also happening with all of these planets in retrograde, I would be shocked if the majority of people watching this are not going through a moment of like, how do I pivot? How do I pivot? Maybe it's not your entire life, but how do you pivot what you do and how you do it? So like run this business. I also have Wheelhouse, which is a place in Portugal, a social wellness club, which is absolutely incredible. You have to visit if you're in Portugal. It's in Lisbon. And for a long time, I felt like I needed to be in the trenches with everybody, doing everything. I needed to be, helping the person at the front and helping the person at the back and helping this and doing that and organizing the strategy and dealing with the social media. And what I'm starting to realize is that through Leo season, I really was recognizing for me to live in my authentic truth, for me to shine at my highest capacity, I can't be in the trenches with everybody. And that's what those limitations were. These trenches were limitations. That full moon in Aquarius was asking us to let go of those limitations so that we can shine more authentically. I've paid my dues. I have been in the fucking trenches. I have worked my ass off for years and years. And that is also another limiting belief that I'm now releasing actively, is that you don't have to work your ass off to create abundance. You don't have to, wake up early, blood, sweat, and tears to make good money. You just don't have to do that. We have been conditioned to believe that. I have been conditioned to think I need to be in the trenches to show people that I care about them. And that's my way of showing them that I care. I'll do the work with you, and I'll hire you to do the job, and I'll pay you to do the job, but I'll do the job with you just to show that, I don't know, that I care about you. Like, I don't know where the programs are in my mind. So where do you do that? Where do you need to readjust your contribution and your boundaries? And where do you need to acknowledge that there is retribution taking place? There is an equal give and take. And it doesn't always need to be exact equal. Like, I set up the room and you take down the room if we're doing a workshop. No, but I'm paying you to do a job. You're making money. And in exchange for that, you're going to set up and take down the workshop room. So like, this is really important for us right now, because with the South Node in Libra, and this is all going to make sense about Virgo season very soon. I'm just trying to really paint the picture to what we're energetically moving through right now, okay? With the South Node in Libra, we can't continue to keep ourselves in old loops. We can't continue to show up in outdated ways to maintain the harmony or to maintain the balance or diplomacy, because it's not authentic. And it's not helping the storyline progress. It's also not even real. So maybe I think that, these people feel that I care about them more when I'm in the trenches with them. And they're actually like, I don't fucking need you here. Like, I actually feel like you don't trust me to do my job properly. I feel like you don't trust me to be able to handle this responsibility properly. I feel like you don't trust that I will get this done on time without you being here and being part of it and monitoring it. So where is your misunderstanding or outdated way of being actually hindering the other people around you, based off of us feeling like we need to continue to show up in these outdated ways, when what they're really doing is robbing the opportunity for somebody to show us that they can set this up on their own. They can do these things on their own. They are responsible. So we're actually like taking away their learning by us being involved. So this is really important, because with the South Node in Libra, we're letting go of this way of interacting. Now, as we move through Virgo season, Virgo loves to take control of things, because Virgo knows how to do things very fucking well. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is about internal and external processes, the most efficient way of doing something. It's a very transactional energy. So this is an opportunity for us to reflect on, how am I showing up in this exchange? What is the transaction? And what is my actual role? If your actual role is, for example, to run the space, to manage a space, or whatever it is, I'm just going to continue to use my life as an example, and then you guys can just zoom out from the example and see where it applies in your own life. But like, I created the space. I'm not supposed to be setting up the workshops myself. That's what I hired somebody to do. So how is it that I can have that internal boundary and I can show enough respect to the people and trust to the people that they can handle their part of that and I can handle my part of that? Because the other thing is, like, when the space is ready, they're not hosting the workshop. I'm hosting the workshop. I have to show up. I have to be aligned and ready. I have my own ways of preparing. So like, it doesn't work if I set up the workshop and then they are the ones who have to pull the tarot cards and channel and talk about the astrology. They don't know how to do that, or maybe they don't even want to do that. It doesn't even matter. But my point is, we all have a specific role. And Virgo, a lot of the time, wants to take on all of the fucking roles. And it's a way of micromanaging things to make sure that everything is so perfect and everything is efficient and everything works. But what happens in a low vibrational expression is that it becomes micromanagement, it becomes pessimistic, and it becomes no longer an opportunity for people to learn or to do. It becomes an energy that is actually impeding on other people's learning because you're not trusting that they can figure it out for themselves. You don't have enough faith in them. So you want to take over. So how is it that we can release this? You might also find that you grew up in a household that was like that. Maybe your mom was like that, your brother was like that, your father was like that, or a friend or an early relationship or whatever. This is an opportunity for us to understand, how did that affect us? So maybe we feel like I can't trust myself because I was never trusted as a child to take care of these things because everything was micromanaged. Everything was ordered, like you have to do this and then you have to do that and then you have to do that. And this energy of like hand holding and forcing the other person to do something the way that we think it's the best way to do it. Again, it's like, it's not allowing that person to learn. It's not allowing that person to build confidence in themselves. So maybe you are also now carrying some of that and you're recognizing, whoa, like I can let that go. I can trust myself. I can trust my ability to make decisions, to understand what is the best next move. And I can trust that I can bring this to completion. But maybe a lot of you experienced in your childhood or early years somebody else micromanaging you, somebody else doing that. So we understand that like it doesn't feel nice. You know what I mean? So in Virgo season, it's very possible that that energy does come up. And I don't want you to activate it. I would like you to try to acknowledge where it is and see if you can lean deeper into surrender. Okay. See if you can lean deeper into flow and allowing everyone else to contribute in the ways that they have been designated to contribute. Sorry, I have like a canker sore like in my fucking mouth, like up here. I was drinking a lot of coffee, and I had a couple beers, and I was like, while I was doing it, I was like, I'm drinking way too much coffee, and it's really high in acid. And every time I do that, I get a fucking canker sore. So if you see me talking or being like, it's because I'm in pain. Um, but it's okay. I can push through. It's not that dramatic, but that's why I'm probably making weird faces. Anyways, so that's also why I'm talking a bit slower too, because the more I talk, the more my mouth is like, it's just annoying. Okay, first of all, I didn't even say thank you for being here. So thank you for being here and investing your time and your energy and your money into this. I'm super honored that I get to do this work and that so many people get to engage in it. So thank you for that. Virgo season will begin. It depends on where you are. I don't know the exact hour or minute that the sun moves into Virgo, but it can be different depending on your time zone. So I would say that it starts around August 23rd and it goes until around September 22nd. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in retrograde for the beginning of Virgo season. And then on September 11th, the retrograde will end. Now, there's a lot that we could talk about for that retrograde. I have a retrograde workshop. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely go check it out. It's still relevant because the retrograde has a 2-week post shadow period. So if we add 14 days till 14 days plus the 11th of September, we're looking at almost all of September. Mercury retrograde is still affecting us. The energy will fully be normal on the 25th of September. So until the 25th of September, which is going to be the next season, almost all of Virgo season, we have Virgo's ruling planet, Mercury, either in retrograde or still experiencing the retrograde energy. So again, watching the Mercury retrograde workshop in Virgo season, because Virgo is connected to the planet Mercury, that Mercury retrograde is going to be very important, especially if you have Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, or Sagittarius in your birth chart. It could be your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign. If it's where your Mercury placement is, that's also very important. So if you look at your natal chart, you'll see the planets in different areas. If any of those planets are activating the area, the slice, it's called the house. If they're activating that house, if that house is Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, or Sagittarius, I would strongly recommend that you watch the Mercury retrograde workshop and that you really listen to this workshop, because the combination of Virgo season and Mercury retrograding in Virgo is definitely going to be supporting you in realigning yourself in a lot of ways. Now, what was interesting is that Virgo is about our internal and external processes. It's about our routines. It's about self-control. It's about management. It's about digestion, literally food. So, and anything that you ingest into your body. So what are you watching? What are you listening to? Who are you talking to? What kind of music, podcasts, television, whatever. So you really want to start discerning, which is another great Virgo word. You really want to start discerning, is this good for me or is this not good for me? Is this healthy or is this unhealthy? Now, nothing is intrinsically good or bad. I mean, arguably, you could say war is bad. It's like, okay, like we're not going to get into this whole conversation, but like nothing is intrinsically good or bad. We typically have a charge that we put on something, and that charge creates an emotion in our body, and then we connect that emotion with a good emotion or a bad emotion, which is also incorrect because even emotions aren't good or bad. They just are. They help us navigate. They help us understand what experience is mirroring back to us and how we are responding to it. And clearly there is a charge happening within me that is activated by either a wound or inspiration and curiosity or whatever. So this is how you use the external world to mirror back your internal world. And then as you fine tune your internal world, you align yourself with deeper flow, which then leads you into opportunity and abundance and expansion and all that good stuff. But in order for you to get that good stuff, you need to start recognizing how you are responding to the world around you. So when we get into looking at Mercury and how it helps us process all of those experiences, process all of those emotions, what's really helpful is that Mercury is very quick, okay? It's a very fast-moving energy. Mercury is the time traveler in like Greek mythology, Hermes. He can go into the future, he can go into the past. So our mind can go into the future, can go into the past. This is super helpful, but this can also work against us. This is super helpful when we start recognizing, okay, how is this experience affecting me and my emotions? And what energetic charge am I putting on these emotions? What's beautiful about Mercury, what's beautiful about Virgo, what's beautiful about Gemini, because Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. So Mercury, Gemini, and Virgo are all kind of dancing together in some ways. These are mutable signs. This means that you can change your perspective. So you have a really good opportunity right now, especially with the Mercury retrograding, to shift your perspective, to change the charge that you put on certain experiences. So I had whatever. I've had some bullshit happening at work. I had found that a couple people were stealing from me, and one of them was my personal assistant who I had a really nice connection with. And in that experience, when I realized what was happening, all of these emotions came up, and I could feel the charge, and I could look at that charge and understand, how do I want to act on this energy? Do I want to fly into victim mentality? How could you do this to me? This is such a betrayal. I'm crying, I'm shaking, I'm all in the air. Or do I want to just empower myself with the knowledge and say, wow, I cannot believe that this is the reality of the situation. You need to leave. I need to reestablish boundaries. I need to go, do X, Y, Z. So there was really, and I can notice myself, and this is a great opportunity for you to also acknowledge when these charges are coming up, how well have you done with tweaking your own energy field? Because in that moment, I didn't choose to freak out and to have the meltdown and to do the whole drama. I chose to just be really solid with like, wow, okay, I need to do A, B, C, D. You need to give me back my keys. You need to give me back this. This is what we're doing. I'm going to go to the police station. I'm going to get a report. This is how, and and it was consequence and reality and blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Please leave. And then I moved on. I would say that there's still emotions that need to be processed there to some degree, for sure. However, I chose to, in that exchange, keep myself and keep my emotional charge in a way that helped me feel more empowered by just taking care of the situation in a mature approach. So this is going to be happening a lot through Virgo season, where certain triggers come in and you get to choose, how do I want to respond to this? Now, in that response, you can choose to respond differently. This is when we begin to talk about like getting into quantum leaping, and where you begin to merge new timelines and call in a new reality. It's in those moments of choice where it's like, I'm not going to choose this old way of doing it. I'm going to choose something that maybe feels unfamiliar, but I can navigate that. I can navigate this new terrain. So that's what you have an opportunity to do right now, because Mercury in retrograde is allowing us to see that how you've been investing into your daily practices, first and foremost, how you've been reserving your own energetic resources. So who are you giving your time to? Who are you giving your energy to? Who are you giving your money to, your love, your attention? Where is it all going? Like, you have a limited amount of time and energy every day. So where is that being spent? When we think about the Six of Coins is coming to mind. And the sixth house, the number 6, is connected to Virgo, right? So the sixth house is connected to Virgo. So if we look at in the tarot, the Six of Coins, which is an earth energy like Virgo energy, and it's the number 6 like Virgo. The Six of Coins is about having better boundaries with where our limited resources are going. Not to limit yourself in the way of like, this is all the money I'll ever have. Like, no, you can still activate abundance with the realization that you are still working within limitations. However, the abundance is still coming and those limitations will grow over time. But like, you don't want to be, it's like somebody comes to do a very simple task that should, cost $200, and they're like, well, that'll cost you $5,000. And you're just like, no, that's not a smart way of using your resources. If you know that you're friends with somebody who's always talking shit, that's not a good way of spending your energy. If you're dating somebody who fucking gives you the bare minimum, that's unacceptable. So like, this is where we need to start reflecting, like, what is our exchange here? Why am I giving you my time, energy, money, affection, my love, when you're not giving me back an equal exchange? It's not an equal value. So the Six of Coins allows us to understand that there are certain limitations that we can set around how much we are willing to give. When you think about Mercury retrograding in Virgo, this is an opportunity for us to reflect on how we are spending our resources, our time, our energy, our money. So, what does your daily practice look like? What does your morning routine look like? How available are you for everybody else all of the time? Because a lot of what we need to let go of that you might be noticing through Virgo season is that there's like this self-sacrifice energy from Virgo. Virgo is a lot of the times willing to put their own priorities aside so that they can take care of everybody around them. But that's not good because then Virgo begins to resent people. Virgo begins to, and it's not just Virgo, it's all of us at different times. But Virgo season is going to show us where are you not prioritizing your own mental health, your own physical health? Where are you not prioritizing your own limitations and resources? Where are you not taking care of yourself enough because you are spending the majority of your time taking care of all the fucking people around you? It's not fair. So do not fall into self-sacrifice. Don't do it. This is about us. I pulled the Page of Coins, which is also a Virgo energy. It's an earth energy. This is about us planting a new seed. And if we can plant that new seed with intentionality, because a huge energy around Virgo is intentionality. Intentionality allows us to move slowly and smoothly. When you're moving smooth, smooth is fast. So don't focus on speed. Focus on slow and smooth, and that will move you along much quicker than you think it will. Where is it leading us to? To this beautiful 10 of Cups. But this 10 of Cups is only available to us by doing things in a new way. This is a page. This is a new way of doing things. This is the youngest energy of the royal family. This is the student. This is trying new things. This is learning new things. This is a seed that needs to be planted. Okay? This is not the 7 of Coins where it's already planted. We're taking care of it. We're trying to see what. No, 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 no. Especially because this Virgo season, Mercury is in retrograde. The ruling planet of this season, the ruling planet of Virgo is in retrograde. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's retrograding in Virgo still too. I think I already said that, but I just want to confirm that for us. No, so he's officially moved into Leo. He's in the first couple degrees of Leo. But he was in Virgo. So Mercury was in Virgo to start the retrograde, which is an opportunity for us to reflect on how we've been moving through life. Again, what are our daily habits? How are we using our resources? How are we going through an awareness of what's an equal exchange or not? And then Mercury is now in Leo, which is reminding us of our power. It's reminding us of who the fuck we are and how we can live an aligned life with the skill set that we have, our unique abilities. Like, you really want to think about your authentic nature when Mercury is retrograding in Leo, because this is trying to remind you of your creative power. This is trying to remind you of your leadership capabilities. This is trying to remind you of your intrinsic worth, okay? And your ability to shine uniquely. So when you shine in that authentic space, you attract opportunities and people into your energy field. And Mercury retrograding in Leo is asking us to wake back up to who the fuck we are. Now, once the Mercury finishes on September 11th, Mercury will begin to move forward through Leo, where we will then be able to be like, okay, cool. I've now woken up to myself again. I realize that I have all of this worth, all these creative ideas. I have these dreams, and I'm very capable of fucking doing them. When we get to September, oh, you know what, guys? Sorry. I'm a Gemini. I'm ruled by Mercury. And right now, Mercury in retrograde is really affecting me because that's my planet and my sign. The retrograde does not finish on September 11th. The retrograde finishes around the 29th, it looks like. On September 11th, even earlier, actually, on September, oh, that's why I was confused earlier. Okay. On September 9th, Mercury will re-enter Virgo, which is going to be a really good time for us to begin to apply all of the learning into a practical way. By the time we get to September 11th, that will be when Mercury leaves the post-shadow period. So, excuse me, I was incorrect earlier when I said that from September 11th, there's another 2 weeks of post-shadow period. That's incorrect. The post-shadow, so the whole Mercury retrograde energy will be completely out of our systems by September 11th. For the rest of Virgo season, yes, for the rest of Virgo season, Mercury will be in Virgo, which will be very helpful because now we get to build on all of the understandings that have come to our awareness over the last couple of weeks through that Mercury retrograde. So what's really nice about this is that as Mercury begins to move forward through Virgo, which is the sign that Mercury rules, that Virgo energy during Virgo season is going to be really amplified, and Mercury is going to be on fire, really helping us out. So this is really nice because it allows us to build properly. It allows us to communicate clearly. This is an opportunity for you to communicate with the people around you, maybe the changes that you need, or to start strategizing your exit plan. This is an opportunity for you to also figure out what new actions do I need to take? And that ties back into this Page of Pentacles. What is the new action? What is the new start that I need to do? This is also a card of learning, and Virgo season is really, really good for learning something new, developing a new skill set. This is also really good for optimizing anything in your life, getting financially clear on certain things, organizing your home, cleaning up your routine, your habits, anything like that. This is a really good time for that. But what I really like about this Page of Coins energy is that when Mercury is moving direct in Virgo and activating all of that Virgo energy in Virgo season, we have a really good opportunity for us to organize our schedules, to plan the next couple months, and to just see things more clearly. If you take that opportunity and you actually apply it and you embody it, because there's 3 levels, and I'm going to do a whole other workshop about this. There's 3 levels of there's 3 levels to, I guess, action and to change. I don't know how I want to talk about this yet, so forgive me. But the first layer of that is awareness. Okay, it's like, okay, I'm aware of something. I'm aware that I need to change something. The second layer of that is integrating the knowledge. Okay, I'm aware of this. I'm going to integrate this by looking for some sort of support that will actually help me integrate all of this awareness. So like, I feel that I have an unhealthy habit. Okay, that's the awareness. The integration is I begin to research how to change this unhealthy habit. That's the integration. I'm integrating the awareness into some sort of action. And then the last part, which is the part where most people stop, is embodiment and application. The embodiment and application phase is when we actually take the awareness and everything we know about how to change that awareness, and we actually fucking do something about it. We actually change the habit. we begin to do something, or we simplify our lives, we take something away. So Mercury direct in Virgo during Virgo season to me is just screaming embodiment. It's screaming application. It's screaming take the fucking action. Start the routine. Start the habit. You have the knowledge. You have integrated the awareness and the opportunities. Great. Apply them. Okay. Embody them. If you do that with this page of coins, and it's going to be maybe slow, doesn't matter. Remember, slow is steady. Steady is smooth. Smooth is fast. So slow is okay. Virgo is earth energy. Earth is not fast anyways. Earth has a natural cycle. We have to respect the natural cycle that we are in and not try to force ourselves to be in a different cycle. So if we can integrate that, it will lead to 10 of Cups, which is joy, satisfaction, emotional fulfillment, expansion, opportunity. How do we get there? I have this strength card. Now, this is really interesting because this is Leo. And remember, Mercury was retrograding in Leo. When Mercury was retrograding in Leo, it was showing us our authentic self. It was reminding us of who we are. So how do we integrate that knowledge? We apply the behaviors. We embody that knowledge by taking action that is aligned with us understanding who we really are, and we start building a life towards who we really are. If we take that action intentionally, it leads us to the 10 of Cups. It is a slow and gradual process, but the more you can focus on the details, the more you can focus on the natural fluidity of things, the more you can focus on discerning, is this leading me towards my new life, or is this bringing me back into my comfort zone? The more you can get into that understanding, it doesn't fucking matter how slow you're moving, you're going to get there eventually. So it's really important that we get intentional about our process, our routines, our habits, that we fully understand what we want to work towards, and that we are constantly digesting everything in our environment to see, is this good for me or is this not good for me? Is this leading me towards my new goal or is this leading me into my comfort zone? At that point, you can discern which it is and how you want to take action. The last thing I want to talk about, well, two more things, is that in tarot, the Hermit is the card that represents Virgo. The Hermit is an energy that is all about trust. It doesn't always make sense to other people. Hello, Loki wants to say hi. It doesn't always make sense to other people. Okay, you love the head climb. Oh my God, amorzinho lindo. Amor. Our vision doesn't always make sense to other people. It doesn't need to make sense to other people. There's a reason you have that dream and other people didn't have that dream. It's because you're here to bring something different into this world. And sometimes the dream doesn't happen the way we thought it would, but it's what we needed to see, to feel, just to get us to the next door. And then when that door opens, we realign ourselves. Things change. Like, that's part of these new moon and full moon processes. That's part of retrograde season, is to literally keep us in a place of realigning ourselves with what feels right in this moment. But this Virgo energy, oh wow, I'm getting an ear is ringing. Wow, my ear is ringing. This Hermit energy, this Virgo energy, he can't see 100 steps ahead. All he has is this lantern. So this is also about slow and intentional movement, step by step by step. He doesn't want to walk off that mountain because he can't see where he's going. He can't rush. This is not about you rushing. This is about you getting intentional, okay? Virgo is also connected to the body, and the opposite sign of Virgo is Pisces, and Pisces is connected to the soul. So Pisces and Virgo are opposite in the sky. Okay, they are opposite signs. That means that this axis, AXIS, this axis is the earth versus ethereal. It's the physical versus the spiritual. So I mentioned this earlier, and I don't think I finished the thought. At the beginning of Virgo season, we have Saturn square Jupiter. Jupiter is connected to Pisces energy in the sense that it is that expansive, ethereal energy that is beyond limitation. And Saturn is connected to Virgo energy in the sense that it is of the earthly realm and it needs structure to actually build something. So when you think about the Saturn Jupiter combination, it is also, in theory, connected to this Pisces and Virgo combination because they are both dealing with the earthly realm versus the ethereal spiritual realm. So in order for you to properly manifest anything, what you need to do is feel into that spiritual vision, what feels aligned, what feels like the proper path for you to be taking in this moment. And then how do you mix that with the earthly realm, which is intentionality, structure, routines, and investments of your time, energy, and money. So right now, we start Virgo season with this square activation between Saturn and Jupiter, asking you, what is it that you want to create on a soul level? Where does your mind go when you think about your dreams and your future and all the possibilities? And then Saturn asking you to figure it out and to put a plan together so that we can actually make that happen. All of this is happening right now at the beginning of Virgo season, in the middle of retrograde season. So where are we still not aligned physically in our routines, mentally with the way maybe we talk to ourselves or the limitations or the fears that we carry? Maybe it's energetically we're not aligned with a social group or a project. Maybe all these things are limiting us. Remember, that full moon in Aquarius is letting go of these limitations. This retrograde season is asking you to let go of any of these imbalances. And Virgo season is asking you to realign your process so that you can create the reality of your dreams in a more practical way. Okay? Virgo is, so there's two things that really depict Virgo. There's probably more, but I wrote down two of them. One of them is wheat, like the wheat sheaf. Um, that is representing the harvest that comes. So in order for us to properly harvest, we need to also discern what we're keeping and what we're getting rid of. We need to take an inventory of, like, you're not gonna, put a bunch of, like, if you're making an apple pie, you're not gonna pick a bunch of apples and half of them are rotten, some of them are perfect, and we still use them all. No, you get rid of the rotten apples and you just use the good ones. So what in your life is too far gone? What in your life is it time to just let go of? What in your life do we need to just discard? Okay, because Virgo season is about discarding things that don't actually benefit us, the things that we don't actually want, the things that we don't actually need, the things that we've outgrown. And it's about having the discernment to keep the things that are working and to make apple pie with the good stuff, The other thing is that Virgo is connected to the Virgin. Now, when we talk about the Virgin, we talk about purity, and they based that idea not from the virgin being someone who has not had sex, but from a virgin being something that in itself is intrinsically virgin, like pure, clean. It's untouched by other things. So when you think about yourself, your own life, your vision, what does that look like Who are you without other people projecting their shit onto you? Who are you without the fear that your parents have put on you? Who are you without the conditioned that society or the world has put on you? What do you want for yourself that is pure to yourself, right? From the ethereal, like your soul has this idea of what it wants to create for itself. How do you take that in the purest form and apply it to the earthly realm through Virgo, through the Virgin, the purest form of your inspiration, not your inspiration being filtered through what other people consider successful or what other people consider a good job or a real career or what the fuck ever. So keep that in mind when you're feeling into your vision. What would you build? Who would you be if you were untouched and uninfluenced by anyone or anything around you? That is what they're talking about when they talk about the Virgin energy. Okay, so just keep that in mind this season, because that is where you want to build. And again, I talked about this in depth in the Abundance Activation Workshop. When you are authentic, when you are in your flow for what you should be doing, that is where you find limitless expansion and opportunity. Abundance and money and success is a byproduct of you being in service. You being in service is a byproduct of you finding your flow. So this is how we begin to activate more abundance in our life. There's so much we could talk about there. The Abundance Activation Workshop is fucking amazing. So watch that at some point. Okay, the last couple things I want to do is just go through a few keywords for high vibrational expression of Virgo energy and low vibrational expression of Virgo energy. So high vibrational expression, some of the keywords I have is studying, planning, strategizing, scheduling, cleaning, organizing, getting intentional, being flexible, very intelligent, smart, detail-oriented. Some of the low vibrational expressions of Virgo energy can be like nitpicky, overly judgmental, perfectionist, procrastination because it's never perfect, it's never ready, overworking, self-sacrificial, micromanagement, taking on more than you can handle, biting off more than you can chew, like that type of vibe, okay? I also just want to emphasize that Virgo is a earthly energy, which means it's even more connected to the natural cycles of release, pause, growth, and expansion. So allow yourself to just recognize what season are you in right now. We're all moving through Virgo season, but Virgo season activates a different part of our chart. So in my, of course, in mine, it's the 12th house, which means this season I will be activating 12th house, which is the house of hidden enemies, for example, which is like why I'm recognizing all these people are stealing from me and how I'm clearing that out. This is the house of ascension and integration and awareness. So I am now learning all this information and integrating it. I am allowing myself to choose how to respond. Therefore, I have an ability to ascend into a new way of responding to the world around me. So what I would suggest is that you look for in your natal chart, which looks like this, all the planets and all of the houses, there's slices, all of the houses have symbols. One of them is the Virgo symbol, which looks like that. It's the little M with the hook through it, okay? That Virgo symbol will be ruling a house. If it's ruling the first house or the second house or the third house, then just Google, what does this house mean? And that's where you should be noticing a lot of the changes taking place. That's where you should be reflecting and adjusting certain things, okay? Okay, I think that's good. So we're going to do just a guided meditation really quick. You can just make yourself comfortable. And yeah, you can close your eyes. If you're deaf, obviously keep your eyes open. We're just going to visualize with the third eye for everybody. Okay, so we can just take one deep inhale. And then just exhale, let it all out. Take one more deep inhale and just hold your breath at the top. And then exhale and make your exhale longer than the first one. And let's just do one more inhale. And on the exhale, just let your body get 10% more relaxed. And I want you to just feel into a couple things that maybe need to be reorganized in your life. So the first thing I want you to think about is your house and your home or your office or somewhere you spend a lot of time. Where is it too busy? What is too messy? What is too overloaded? Maybe you have one chair in your bedroom that just has all the laundry piled up on it. Maybe it's a desk with so many papers. Maybe it's your backpack that's never been cleaned in the last 6 months. Like, where is it that things have just piled up? And everything externally is also a reflection of what's happening internally, somewhere in your conscious or subconscious mind. So, how is it that we can identify one thing or a few things in our life that just feel a little bit messier than they need to be? And now I want you to just take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, imagine that mess begins to clean up and it organizes itself. Just imagine that visually, or feel the energy of everything was once tangled up and now it's beginning to untangle. Now I want you to think about your daily practice, or maybe your lack of routine or your lack of daily practice. What do you do every day that just feels a little bit either messy or distracting? So maybe as soon as you wake up, you get dressed and you make a coffee and you leave the house. Maybe you don't give yourself, 10 minutes to just see how you feel that day. Maybe when you get home, you immediately hop on Netflix or you get on your phone or you continue to do your emails, and you don't need to do that. So just look at your routine, look at your daily practice, look at how you move through your life right now, and just identify one thing, something that you want to untangle. You want to carve out a little more time for yourself at the beginning of your day, at the end of the day, or wherever it is. And then once you recognize that, I want you to just take a deep breath. And on the exhale, just imagine that you open up a little bit more space for yourself. And now maybe visualize one way, one thing that you can do to create more space for yourself. So maybe it's reading a book instead of watching a movie. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes to journal on your lunch break. Maybe you want to just take a walk before you start your day. What is just one thing that will allow you a little bit more space for yourself? And then I want you to take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, I want you to feel just the satisfaction and the calming energy that brings you. Taking just an extra minute for yourself every day. If you are actually doing those things, just feel a little bit of relief. the goal is to create more ease and efficiency in our life, to get more intentional about how we spend our time and our energy and our money. So the last thing I want you to do is to just think about one or two unhealthy habits, whether it's something that affects your mind or your body or your soul. What is one unhealthy habit that you continue to carry? So maybe you've been thinking about, drinking less coffee or drinking less alcohol. Maybe there's a friend group or an ex-lover that you feel like you've been trying to separate yourself from. Maybe you're overworked or underpaid or underappreciated or whatever. But I want you to just feel into one thing that doesn't feel healthy for you anymore. And then give yourself permission to let that go. Ask the universe for support to strategize how to let that go. And then just take one deep inhale. And on the exhale, imagine yourself detaching from that habit or that person or that place. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, I want you to just feel your energy field open up a little bit more, because we have a little bit more space to now create from. And then when you're ready, you can bring your attention back into your physical body. Bring your attention to the soles of your feet, the tip of your nose or your ears. You can bring gentle movement into the shoulders and the neck. And then you can open your eyes and come back into this space. I would suggest that you do this meditation one or two more times whenever you feel ready. And just in a journal somewhere, just write down what's coming up and begin to ask the universe, how can I integrate more of this free time? How can I create separation between these things that are no longer healthy for me? And just ask for an answer and keep writing. And just keep writing. An answer will flow through. You too are a channel, just like me, just like everybody. So we just need to make space for that channel to open, that conversation. Remember, between the ethereal, the universal, the spiritual, into the earthly, right? Virgo season is the spiritual into the earthly. And how do we do that? It's through practicality. What is more practical than asking a question and then writing down until you get the answer? It will flow out of you, okay? So ask those questions again, make some notes about what was coming up for you. There is a workbook that is in your members area. That workbook has journal prompts, I believe. It also has important dates. There's a lot of important dates that are happening through Virgo season. So you can definitely check that out. And yeah, I'm on the workbook now. We've got 2, 4, 6 different prompts. A sapphire would be really good to use this season as well. That's an energy that is connected to Virgo. That'd be a supportive crystal. And then, yeah, you'll see the key transit dates. So these are all key transits. All right. So these are important dates for you guys to look at. That being said, we are done. I am sending you so much love. I hope that was helpful. And I will see you guys at the new moon in Virgo and the full moon in Pisces workshop. And yeah, whenever you feel ready, definitely check out the abundance activation workshop. It was super good. So yeah, I will leave you guys there. Sending you so much love, and I'll chat with you soon. Bye.